Today is finally the day that I'm going to categorize my entire wardrobe, because in my head, I have a very small wardrobe. I'm a sustainable girly. I don't overbuy things, but I feel like I have a lot more stuff than I think I do.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be here for a week. What have I done?
I kind of have to do something about this closet because it has got a little bit out of control. And what better time, I thought, than to take this opportunity to categorize my entire wardrobe, because it's been something that I've been meaning to do for years. However, today is finally the day that I'm going to document everything for multiple purposes. I bet it's going to tell me a lot about my personal style, my personal preferences. I bet I'm going to discover a lot of things in my wardrobe that I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. I love this. This has been living in the back of the wardrobe forever. Or find things that I never really gravitate to and could probably find a new home. Will also probably tell me what to avoid buying or thrifting in future because I simply do not gravitate towards it. But most importantly, the reason why I wanted to do this is data. It will tell you the color percentage of your wardrobe, where you got things from. Look, I'm a nerd. I love data. And the more data that I can have, honestly, the better my life is. All of my books are cataloged in a database. My finance and budget sheet that I have coded and built is just a work of art that I will not show you because, we do have to maintain some semblance of privacy here on the internet. But I think the last frontier of the large factions of my life that need to be organized are the clothes that I wear every day.
This is one closet emptied. Actually, no, I got more up there.
Every wearable item in my life is going to be cataloged. That means, of course, all of my clothing, all of my dresses, jackets, trousers, every umbrella, every pair of shoes, every accessory, every pair of underwear. Your girl wears a lot of underwear. So I'm going to catalog literally everything because the data nerd in me does really want to know.
I have woefully underestimated myself. Oh my god, I'm gonna be here for a week. What have I done? Gotta put on some socks. No free feet. Here we go. Inaugural sweater.
There's a bunch of different wardrobe cataloging apps and sites out there, and I've done a lot of research on all of them. I think I have landed on using an app called Stylebook. This is not sponsored, so we're going with Stylebook today, and we'll see how we go.
Ah! Stunning! Okay, save. Tops. Sweaters. Okay. Just 1,000 more to go.
Going into this, I knew I had some very specific criteria for the app that I was reluctantly going to allow into my life. And I knew I probably wasn't going to meet all of the criteria, but I wanted to meet as many points as possible, and I feel like Stylebook did that. I will be roasting it in some parts because there are some areas that it does not meet all of my criteria. But ideally, I was going for an app that was not bloated with AI wear. If it has a little bit of AI cleanup around the background deletion, that's fine, but I don't need an app that's gonna AI generate outfit ideas and inspiration based on my wardrobe. It's just not something I want. 2, I was looking for something that does not need an internet connection. I don't want my wardrobe being used to train AI or serve me ads. 3, and this was the biggest factor, there had to be no ongoing monthly payment. Because then having entered all of this data into this app and having really locked myself in, I'm kind of stuck paying for this app for the rest of my life just to have my own data, and that really pissed me off. So if there's a free app, that would be awesome. Probably not gonna find that. But if it's a one-time payment, just buy the app and you own it, that's also fine too. And Stylebook was just a one-time $4.99 download. I was willing to do that, and in theory, I own my database. I really wanted the data to be easily exportable, again, so that I own my data. Stylebook does not have this, so that was a bit of a disappointment, but it ticks off all the rest of my boxes. I know a lot of people have really vibed with Index, and look, the data on Index looks just so good, but it is a monthly subscription, and look, I'm so subscription fatigued. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
This is actually kind of promising. It's going a little bit faster than I thought it would. Never mind, I found another stack of them. I have summoned reinforcements. Let's do this. Let's find out how many fawn playlists this takes me to complete.
I already know, just looking at my closet, there's a lot of pieces that I love. These clothes are so me. The color palette is so me. The fabrics are beautiful. And I do really want to emphasize that this is a wardrobe that I've been working on for probably about 17 years now. And there are pieces in this collection here that I have had for all of those 17 years.
Oh, yeah, let's take a shot in that.
Oh man.
Wait, should we do some ASMR?
Oh. It's going straight to the mending pile.
Straight to mending.
I do feel very, at this point, confident in my personal style, but I do just want to reassure anyone watching here who is maybe struggling with personal style or struggling with what to buy. I do want to heavily emphasize the fact that this is, in the grand scheme of modern wardrobes, a relatively small, curated collection of garments that I've been collecting for almost 2 decades. Even if you could just go out and buy everything ideal right now, I feel like it wouldn't be as good as it could be, because sometimes the perfect thing just crops up on Vinted or at a thrift shop. Some of my most worn clothes are clothes that I've just found accidentally. Some of my most cherished garments are garments that were limited drops from very, very small business, small batch clothing brands that you can't just go out and say, I want this right now and buy it. And, you know, just years of finding good brands through my network, through my grapevine, through, oh my God, where's that from? It's from this little brand. And of course, a lot of my clothing is self-made. Making clothing takes time, and you can't just sit down and make an entire wardrobe in a week or 2.
That's the end of the dresses.
Huzzah!
Over lunch, I decided to tackle the more stationary objects, such as hats and shoes.
Sometimes I really just am a complete caricature of myself. Unfortunately, that does have to be a subcategory. Oh, no. See, but this isn't a historical hat.
No, it's a steampunk hat.
But this top hat would go in historical, but if I have a separate section for top hats, neither of these are historical, but this one is. But they're all top hats. Why am I having such a crisis about hats? I used to just straight up wear this to school.
Yeah, I can see that. It would look nice with your outfit right now. I think you should.
Ooh, I'll wear it.
Yeah, thank you. We're bringing back steampunk.
Please, let's do it. Floor time. I'm gonna say we're like halfway done.
You gonna help me photograph some shoes? I could photograph a piggie. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at her. What a sweet girl. Jeff Cake says like and subscribe. I think that means you should do it.
Yep, that's how it works.
It's day 2. We've got a pile of coats and stuff, and then we've got a pile of drawer stuff.
Woo! I hope you enjoyed the feet in the first half. There will be no foot
There will be no
content in
feet.
this half. I have never seen this before.
Yeah, I made that before YouTube.
Wow.
This is the dress I was working on New Year's Eve. And I was like, I wish I had a YouTube channel I could watch that was just hand sewing. And then I was like, wait a minute, I can be the change I wish to see in the world.
The change you wish to see in the world.
One piece of data that Stylebook does not have, I really need, is where the clothing has come from. So I want to record the brand, but I also want to record my method of finding it. So whether it's self-made, whether it's thrifted, secondhand, I just want to know these things.
Very important business. Gotta catalog the tote bags.
Gotta catalog the John Green clip.
Essential.
So there is a category for season in this app. Like, is this worn in fall, winter, spring? Instead of season, I am going to just sort of make a mental note that I'm replacing this category with method of obtaining. And I unfortunately can't change the name of the seasons, but I'm gonna just have to make a little key. Spring is gonna be secondhand. Summer is gonna be self-made. Fall is going to be a small business. Winter is going to be custom-made. And then there's a category for resort for some reason, which is great for me because I need a 5th category. And so a resort is going to be big business. I think this is the piece of data that I'm going to be the most excited to see the results of. Oh no, she's peeing. Oh, baby girl, no! Oh no, it's dripping.
On John Green.
Not on John Green. It is done. That took about a week. Actually, that did take a solid week. The photographing actually didn't take as long as I thought it would. Weirdly, I thought that was going to be the more time-consuming part, but the data entry is what really took the time. That was probably about 5 solid days of literally just going through. To be fair, I did go a little bit probably more overboard than the average person would have, mostly because I want as many accurate statistics as possible. So in order to get as many cost per wear figures as possible, I had to find the original costs of the garments. And when I tell you, I went through all of my accounts, and I do keep detailed accounting records. I was going through my emails, looking for item receipts. I was going to the websites, looking for order history where I had accounts on the websites. So I was looking for price. I was looking for roughly the year that I bought it in. I also had to have the garment usually in front of me so that I could look at the tags and find out the fiber content, the brand of the garment, where I bought it secondhand, and I don't know what the brand is, but does the tag say something? Yes, it does. So I really wanted to have the surprise of looking at my final statistics. And so I haven't looked at them yet, and I'm very excited to do that. So anyway, let's have a look at the data.
So if we go to style stats, 518 garments. That's a lot more than I was expecting. That is kind of shocking. I kind of wonder how many of these are accessories, how much of this is jewelry. So now I can also go into my closet and I can see how many items I have in each category. I have 26 shirts. That is plenty of shirts. Yeah, 19 pairs of shoes. That is a perfectly sufficient amount of shoes. It is wild. I thought I would have more long dresses. I only have 3 long dresses, but 16 shifts, schmucks, and chemises, which, to be fair, these are the dresses that I tend to wear most often. Aha, yeah, I see. So we've got 124 accessories and 53 jewelry pieces. So roughly 175 items are just little extra bits and pieces. 32 costumes, period, fantasy, bodices. So, Joan of Arc alone is 5 pieces. The other scary figure is the 18,000 pounds. This is going through my accounts and tracking the price that I paid for these items. This is going back to probably around 2010 when I first started buying clothing with my own money. So 18,000 pounds over the course of 16 years. To be fair, this figure does include both my wedding and engagement ring. Price? Most of my wardrobe is less than 25 pounds. Yeah, one thing, and that will be my wedding ring, is more than 1,000 pounds. There's a lot of stuff that has no value because there are many things that I just don't have any record of buying. Most of my things like socks and underwear and basics and stuff, just I have no idea. Also a lot of my costumes and self-made stuff, I really should at some point sit down and try and estimate what I spent on fabric, and I will definitely be doing that going forward so that I can get kind of roughly a value estimate on my self-made projects. But for the stuff that I definitely do have receipts and accounts for, this seems pretty accurate. Color makes complete sense, yes. Most of my wardrobe is black, white, metallics, and then all the other colors, all the jewel tones, all the naturals. Yep, this makes complete sense. Oh wait, yeah, 28% of my wardrobe is black. That totally makes sense. Fabric type. Ooh, I have a lot of synthetic clothing. That's really surprising. 17.8 is 100% synthetic, so this doesn't include the blends. This is probably the case because I have a lot of clothing that I've kept since, I want to say pre-2016, which is when I started becoming more conscious about natural fibers and trying to really buy exclusively natural fiber. It is really tricky with synthetic fibers because
you can't really sustainably just toss them out. If you are like, I want to be 100% natural fiber and only wear sustainable clothes, what do you do with the non-sustainable clothes that you already own that like are still perfectly wearable? Some of it I've been able to sell. Some of it has been in good enough quality that I know for sure I can give it to a charity shop and they won't simply throw it away. But there's a lot of stuff that's like, yeah, this looks really worn and I do kind of still wear this. It's a perfectly comfortable garment. So personally, I'm not into buying 100% synthetic garments nowadays because I just don't find them as comfortable as natural fiber. And it's also, I just know, not as good for the environment and not as good for the water supply when we wash it and all the microplastics leach. So it is a fabric type I actively avoid when purchasing clothing. It is very surprising that I have this much synthetic clothing. So yeah, that is really interesting. The next most popular with 13% is cotton, which totally makes sense. Cotton synthetic, wool 7.6%. I want to say more recently, probably in the past 5 years, really since moving to the UK, got really into wool. Wool is just such a magical, sustainable, comfortable fiber if you get, sort of the right kind of wool. And it's also really great for the environment. Anyway, yeah, metal, glass, and metal. And now we start getting into some of the more mixtures of fibers. Wool synthetic, leather, silk synthetic, metal stone. Yeah. This makes sense. Okay, this is the category I'm most excited about. This is my sort of code for where I have obtained my items. And this is what I really want to know. So by far the highest category with 206 items is small business. That is so interesting. So actually most of my clothing has been bought new, but has been bought from small businesses. This number is probably very skewed because probably most of my jewelry and accessories are bought from small brands. I love buying quirky little earrings and things on Etsy from independent jewelers. So this number does contain a lot of that. I do kind of wonder if we take the accessories out, how many of my actual garments, my textile items are small business. That is a question that I have. Next most popular is, oh, that's painful. The resort is my category for fast fashion, basically for big brand. But again, these are garments that I've had since pre-2016 and that I still wear. A lot of my stockings, camisoles, undergarments have all been purchased from big business brands and that I still wear. They're still functional. I'm curious, keeping this up for many, many years of my life as these garments start to wear out, how this number adjusts. Oh, interesting. The third most popular category is self-made. I have 91 self-made items. That is really cool. And this also includes costumes. I've been busy. No wonder I'm so stressed. This is really surprising that secondhand is my penultimate category. So these are garments that I've either bought, vintage, Depop, charity shops, or have been given to me. And then the last category is custom made. So I have 12 custom made items, which is still wild. But it's things like friends have made for me or that I've had commissioned. So yeah, brand. Okay. 22% of my wardrobe is self-made. That is insane. Self-made. Here are all the things that you probably recognize from the channel and many things that I made before the channel. I'm genuinely really shocked to find how much of my wardrobe is synthetic and fast fashion, despite the fact that I have not been buying fast fashion for probably about 10 years now. My first instinct is to feel ashamed about that and to be like, oh my God, I'm such a fraud. I still have so much fast fashion. But the longer I think about it, there is actually nothing to be ashamed about owning fast fashion once you have already made the mistake. Now, being aware of the harms of fast fashion, I actively do not buy those things. I've actually found that I'm much happier with my wardrobe buying one really nice piece every 6 months to a year or so from a brand that I really love, that really adheres to my style and my ethics and my values, and that I know is good quality and that will last me a long time. And to fill out any other needs or impulse purchase desires, I should say, because we all get that sometimes. and to just rely on secondhand sources for that, whether it's Vinted, Depop, a charity shop, borrowing something from a friend, and to really save my money for the pieces that I know will start to build a really fantastic, solid wardrobe. And that is a process that takes years. I mean, looking at my statistics, I've been working at this actively for a decade, and I still have so much fast fashion. So that was fascinating and enlightening. I feel like I learned a lot about my wardrobe. I learned a lot about my buying habits, as well as my keeping habits. There were moments as I was working on this project where I was pulling out garments and I was laying things out and I was seeing things in piles and just thinking, I'm so filled with joy. The colors, the textiles, the textures, the materials. Looking at this category on my phone, my chemises category, and scrolling through it, and just knowing that I love every single one of these garments and I can't wait to wear them, is such a fulfilling feeling. So I've been learning a lot about fiber types, what I personally like to wear, what works best for me and my environment and my comfort levels. And I know I'm going to continue to have more thoughts and feelings and insights and revelations as I continue on this. Maybe I'll check back with you in a year about what I've learned and how ultimately this will help to build a more sustainable wardrobe. Thank you for joining me on this journey. It's been a long journey, and I highly encourage others to go through this process. It was a long process, and it was a time-consuming process. You don't have to do it all at once if you don't have the time. You will learn a ton about your wardrobe and about your clothing consumption habits. Also, selfishly, I would love if other people did this so that I can compare my wardrobe. Like, is this normal? Is this a lot of clothes? Is this not a lot of clothes? I hope this maybe inspires you to go explore your own closet and maybe take one step. You don't have to be fully sustainable. You don't have to stop completely buying synthetic fabrics if that's not what works for you, but just having a little bit more consciousness, making a little bit more effort to maybe this one garment, maybe this one, I will buy the cotton. Maybe this one, I will buy secondhand. Instead of going to H&M, I will look for this on Depop. One step. If we all took one step, I feel like this world would be a much more sustainable place. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just an effort. Anyway, I shall talk to you anon. Bye!
Where do I put this?
Boiler suit.
Tops or bottoms? Or dresses?
Dresses.
Dresses, okay.
Wait, so what about swords? Because then, like, do you get into daggers? Do you get into sickles?
Swords are a prop.
But I have 3 staffs.
But it's still a prop.
But then is a bag a prop?
What is to wear? Where do I put this?
Corsets.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Brides for women.
It counts as wearable.
What is it?
It's a hair wrap.
The forbidden sausage.
I'm keeping this forever.
It's a good shirt. Omelet.
The mending bucket.
The mending bucket.
Okay.